Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Wednesday, September 10th, reveal that Belle Black will spill to Shawn Brady, while Theo Carver talks about his Claire Brady breakup. Steve Johnson will also get accused, so here's what Duel fans can expect. Now that Stephanie Johnson knows about the bug that was planted in Xander Kyriakis' office, she'll launch a heated confrontation with Steve. Stephanie may assume Steve went against her wishes and kept snooping, but he'll insist his hands are clean. Steve may offer another explanation and suggest that his former client must have continued the investigation without him. Of course, that's going to leave Stephanie with questions about who's behind all this, but will Steve keep quiet about Gabby Hernandez's involvement? Over with Kayla Johnson, she'll check in with Marlena Evans and see how she's holding up. Marlena is still grieving John Black and dealing with a lot of family drama, so Kayla will offer support. Since Marlena is still struggling with Queen of the Night dreams as well, that's something else that's been weighing on her. Nevertheless, Days spoilers say Marlena's spirits may be lifted as she has this catch-up session with Kayla. Meanwhile, Julie Williams and Maggie Kyriakis will have a supportive conversation as well. Maggie and Julie will spend some time bonding over their losses on Wednesday's Days episode, so some poignant moments are coming up. As for Belle, Days spoilers say she'll have a discussion with Shawn that takes a personal turn. Shawn may be Belle's ex, but he's always going to care about her and lend an ear when she needs him. That's why Belle will feel comfortable enough to confide in Shawn, presumably about her EJ DiMera split, and perhaps her concerns about Marlena too. Shawn and Belle may also end up discussing Claire's recent breakup, and there'll be some scenes where Theo addresses that with Abe Carver and Paulina Price. After Theo finishes his meeting with Tony DiMera, he'll get some comfort from Paulina and Abe across town. Theo and Claire's love story didn't end the way he wanted, so he'll open up about that and get a much-needed pep talk. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Theo will make some updates to his life now that he's back in Salem, so stick with us for more news on his future. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that we've got a fall preview update for you, so let's discuss 5 major revelations that'll stun Salem. Some surprising moments are on the way, so multiple Salemites will be rattled over what's to come. 1. EJ's disturbing mystery unravels as hospital gala plays out. For starters, EJ DiMera's mysterious plans will be revealed. Despite EJ's attempt to look altruistic with his hospital wing renovations and free health clinic, he has far more nefarious goals. Days spoilers say EJ will have a secret lab where he does some weird experimenting, so that'll be going on during an upcoming hospital gala in memory of Tom Horton. This is all building to some drama related to Stefano DiMera, and may bring a wild way for EJ's father to live on, at least in some form. You can bet all of Salem will be reeling once the truth of what EJ's up to gets exposed. 2. Theo embraces wicked DiMera roots. As for Theo Carver, he'll take a step towards some DiMera trouble with his upcoming actions. Theo has always been a good guy, but he'll lean into his wicked DiMera roots a bit as he helps Tony DiMera and some other DiMeras along the way. Abe Carver may have some serious concerns about that revelation down the road. 3. Kat starts a dirty DiMera feud. Chad DiMera is actually on pretty good terms with EJ at the moment, but Days spoilers say that's going to change in the coming months. EJ assured Chad that he'd treat his new assistant right, but he may not keep that promise if he grows suspicious of Kat Green and her agenda. If EJ does anything to hurt Kat, Chad will fight back in a big way. However, Kat is also keeping secrets about her ICE and FBI mission with Rafe Hernandez, so that'll add to how messy all this is. If Kat has to go as far as seducing EJ to score information, that could be another path to chaos. Whatever the case, a DiMera family feud seems poised to break out as Chad and EJ face off over Kat. 4. Stephanie's shocking exposure means no escape. Next, Stephanie Johnson will panic over an ex who's going to rock her to the core this October on Days. Despite Stephanie's best efforts to keep her identity under wraps when it comes to her romance novel, there's at least one person she won't fool. Of course, Stephanie could face an even more public exposure as well, since this whole Anastasia Sands situation just feels like a big secret that's ready to blow. Regardless, it looks like Michael Rourke will step into the role of Jeremy Horton and leave Stephanie freaking out when she realizes her abusive former flame is back in town. There'll be no escaping the trauma of the past. 5. Halloween slasher horror unleashed. It's never too early to talk about the fun of Halloween, though it won't be so fun for Kat when she nearly gets stabbed in the town square. Alex Kyriakis will come to Kat's rescue against a madman in a lab coat, who may slash Alex or someone else instead. There are always some tricks and treats once it's Halloween time in Salem, so we'll bring you updates on whether Kat's danger is real or part of a dual fantasy. Days of Our Lives spoilers say fans will see some exciting news and shady surprises, so stay tuned. Tony ushers Gabby into the mansion, blaming her for not being more careful about the bug. That's a red flag for Gabby, but Tony assures her he won't use this to cut her out of their deal. She'll get exactly what she wants, which sounds ominous. Plus, he promises that no one will know she was involved in this. After she leaves, Tony gets a call from Rita about a mystery person arriving in town. Xander and Philip talk about how Xander's anger management is going as he makes amends with everyone from Philip to Sarah. The brothers rehash the breakup, and it ends in the exact same place. Xander won't forgive Sarah. They then go over the security findings. There were no other bugs, but they still want to rush the co-CEO deal before any fallout hits. Rafe goes over the hospital blueprints with Kat. It looks normal. EJ's supposedly renovating the unused wing that's been used to shoot a TV show. But Rafe still wants to check if the architect's signature and building permit are legit. He doesn't buy this is all there is. EJ DiMera is a criminal forever and always. Rafe runs down EJ's crimes against him, so yeah, it's personal. But EJ is EJ. Kat can't let the CAD charm her. Chad drops into EJ's office where EJ shows him the fake hospital blueprints, claiming all the saved money is going to renovating the unused wing where the show that shall not be named but which EJ names was shot. Chad doesn't buy EJ's giving back to the community claim. EJ shrugs off Chad's worries. He's laundering the DiMera reputation, not money. That seems to put Chad at ease enough to ask EJ to go easy on Kat. EJ teases his brother for having feelings, so Chad admits they've kind of sort of started seeing each other. Back at Stephanie's, she learns she's a bestseller author, which is when Alex tells her he has a press conference tomorrow to promote that. Well, for PR wonderkind Stephanie, to promote it not Anastasia. But Stephanie still says she's too busy, which doesn't dampen Alex's enthusiasm, so they make out for a bit. What does dampen their enthusiasm is each receiving a summons from EJ and Xander. At Titan DiMera, Xander gives Alex the rundown on the spy pen saga. He then suggests that Stephanie is the likely suspect. She sleeps with Alex, works for EJ, and knew about the FOIA request. It's a no-brainer, but even if she didn't do it, Alex needs to find out what she knows. Philip spots Gabby in the square and invites her to dinner. Gabby prods a bit too much into how Philip and Xander are getting along again, which makes him suspicious about how she knows. But he gets over it fast. Plus, he's appreciative since Xander and Philip are doing better because of Gabby's advice. That and they have a common enemy. Gabby smiles and nods, asking if they found out who was spying. Not yet, but they'll be sorry, he promises. More smiles and nods. EJ fills Stephanie in on all the good deeds coming with the renovated wing, and she's suitably impressed. He claims it's a secret so he can be sure it's rolled out right, then lays out his vision for the DiMera family free clinic. Nope, Stephanie will not allow him to call it that. Everything is great, but the name. He'll lose goodwill and cooperation if he stamps his name on the wing. But she's got an idea, the Dr. Tom Horton Clinic. Fine. EJ reluctantly agrees. Kat and Chad meet in the square to talk about brothers. Okay, they didn't meet for that reason, but it's what they get into. Mark's possible release and EJ knowing about their relationship. Kat's appalled at first, but she's got a good feeling about the two of them. Rafe and EJ have their own run-in on the other side of the square, which Kat helpfully draws attention to, warning Chad that now's not the time to kiss. EJ and Rafe exchange a few mild threats before the lovebirds wander over and EJ introduces Kat and Rafe, who play up not knowing each other. Alex gets home and jumps right into the office drama. Someone bugged the office, and the truth about Philip may already be out there. Does Stephanie know who did it? back at the DiMeras, Tony opens the door to Theo, welcoming him back into the family fold. Theo's just curious about this proposal Tony has for him. Something tells me Gabby won't be happy. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Tuesday, September 9th, reveal that Theo Carver will return with questions while EJ DiMera pushes Chad DiMera for a confession. Now that Chad and Kat Green are more than friends, it won't take EJ long to pick up on that. Days spoilers say EJ will quiz Chad on Tuesday's Duel episode and pressure him to admit his true feelings, so Chad may come clean about where they stand. Meanwhile, Xander Kyriakis and Philip Kyriakis will strengthen their connection as brothers. Despite all the issues of the past, Philip and Xander will continue coming together as they work to nail down who planted the bug. Other Days spoilers say Gabby Hernandez will deliver another reminder to Tony DiMera. Although Gabby did her best to throw Philip and Xander off the trail, she's worried about what's going to happen now that the listening device has been found. That's why Gabby's eager to get the ball rolling on the next phase of the plan, and hopefully end up in the DiMera CEO seat eventually. Gabby will remind Tony of all his promises, and hope that he comes through in the end. Next, Tyler Joseph Andrews will make his Days debut as a Theo Carver recast. It turns out Tony will have a proposition for Theo to consider, so he'll summon him to the DiMera mansion for an important conversation. Once Theo shows up and shares a warm reunion with Tony, he'll have questions about this mysterious proposal. Tony may hope to take advantage of Theo's tech skills and make him part of the scheme to regain control of DiMera Enterprises. Over with Stephanie Johnson. She'll have a little celebration with Alex Kyriakis. Stephanie's book has been a massive hit, so that news may be why she'll be in such a good mood along with Alex. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Alex will ask Stephanie to move in with him soon, so stay tuned for updates on any hints he might drop on Tuesday's show. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates tease that 5 stunning September surprises are on the horizon, promising to intensify the drama in Salem. Let's delve into the upcoming twists and turns that await several characters. To begin with, Kate Roberts Brady will disrupt Tony DiMera's dinner date with Anna DiMera. As Anna looks forward to a wonderful evening with the man she adores, she will certainly not welcome Kate's interference. Even though the last we checked, Kate is happily married to Roman Brady, Anna will still be jealous. In fact, according to Days spoilers, Kate's appearance will trigger a jealous outburst from Anna. Ultimately, it will be Tony who brushes off the incident and attempts to calm Anna down in the end. Chanel Dupree DiMera is once again contemplating adoption, and it appears she is ready to explore the possibility of adopting Tesoro. Having learned about Tesoro's background, Chanel might soon reach out to Johnny DiMera to discuss the idea of bringing him into their family. Recently, Johnny has been feeling more optimistic about the future, which means he will be prepared to start planning for a family in the near future. With this in mind, Chanel could receive Johnny's backing as they think about becoming Tesoro's adoptive parents. Interestingly, neither Johnny nor Chanel is aware that this is the same baby they had intended to adopt before their initial adoption plans fell apart. Alex Kyriakis is head over heels for Stephanie Johnson and is eager to spend every moment he can with her. To prove his devotion, he plans to surprise her with the next significant step in their relationship. While moving in together seems like a natural progression for this couple, Days spoilers indicate that Stephanie will be surprised by Alex's proposal. Stephanie has had some previous bad experiences when it comes to love and romance, so she'll be a little bit gun-shy. However, with her feelings for Alex being just as strong, it's possible she'll come around and agree that taking this leap is the right choice after all. Marlena Evans is about to face a significant amount of stress. Fans of Duel are aware that Marlena is keeping Kristen DiMera's innocence a secret, but maintaining that silence will become increasingly challenging in the coming weeks. Having always been a maternal figure to Brady Black, Days spoilers indicate that deceiving him will grow more difficult. With Marlena still mourning John Black and experiencing unsettling nightmares, her struggles will intensify, making her more likely to crack under the pressure. There will surely be moments when Marlena feels the urge to confess to Brady and possibly, even if she doesn't reveal the truth about Rachel Black being the one who shot EJ DiMera, there could be several near misses where she almost lets it slip. Holly Jonas is about to have a tumultuous college experience, all thanks to Sophia Choi Rachel Boyd, who is determined to sabotage her relationship with Tate Black. Sophia plans to create a scandal that places Holly right in the spotlight, likely by capturing some compromising photos of her while she's asleep. With Johnny also facing the possibility of being embroiled in a scandal, Sophia may attempt to suggest that there's something inappropriate happening between Holly and Professor DiMera. Regardless of the specifics, it's clear that Sophia is set on making Holly's life a living nightmare in the near future. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, September is expected to bring thrilling developments and intense confrontations, and we will keep you updated as more details about the storyline unfold. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Fans can expect Stephanie Johnson to celebrate with Alex Kyriakis. Theo Carver returns to Salem. Plus, Xander Cook Kyriakis bonds with Philip Kyriakis. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's start off with Chad DiMera. The man has already confessed his feelings to Kat Green, who feels the same way. However, Kat impersonating Abigail DiMera has complicated things, especially with Jack Devereaux and Jennifer Horton Devereaux back in town. Chad didn't dare tell Abigail's parents that he's in a romance with Kat now. That would really make Jennifer's head explode. Moving forward, EJ DiMera calls out Chad on his feelings for Kat. Over with Stephanie, she will have something to celebrate. Everyone seems to love her novel already. There might even be an announcement for Stephanie to work on a second novel right away. It's not like Steph can celebrate with her loved ones, though. At the same time, the truth is going to come out eventually. So, she should give Steve Johnson and Kayla Johnson a heads up. Of course, that would mean admitting the erotic novel is hers, and she has no idea that Staya has read parts of it already. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday, September 9th reveal that Philip and Xander spend some time bonding. This is a really nice twist in this storyline. It's about time they unite and bond. Them, their family, and the future of Titan depends on them having a united front. However, will they realize that Gabi Hernandez is playing them both? They don't know she's responsible for the bug yet. If they bond, though, Philip could bring up his passion with Gabi. That would have Xander raising his eyebrows as she kissed him. Fans will also see Gabi remind Tony DiMera of their deal. With Xander and Philip knowing they were bugged, Gabi knows she needs to secure this deal now. However, Tony is waiting for a reason, so Gabi could be exposed before she gets that precious DiMera CEO position. Also, Theo returns to Salem. In a preview clip, we can see him sharing an embrace with Tony. So, I wonder what Theo's storyline will be. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025? Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Tuesday, September 9th, reveal some bombshells on the horizon as a legacy character returns and two brothers bond. Plus, someone gets called out on their feelings. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, September 9th. Note that Theo Carver will return to Salem with a slightly different look. That's because actor Tyler Joseph Andrews has been recast in the role. And from the sounds of it, Theo will play a part in Tony DiMera's plan to snatch DiMera Enterprises back from Titan. Speaking of, Gabi Hernandez will remind her former brother-in-law about their deal. Gabi has worked overtime to get the goods on Philip Kyriakis and Xander Kyriakis, and she won't want Tony to forget what he promised her in return. But is Gabi just a pawn in his game? Only time will tell. Read this. Days of Our Lives. 5. September Stunners. These plot developments heat up Salem. Speaking of Philip and Xander, the Kyriakis brothers will bond on the September 9th episode. It's nice to see the two finally on the same page after all the fighting and conflict they endured recently. With that said, how long would this camaraderie last? In other news, Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis will have something to celebrate, so what could this be about? Lastly, Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday imply that EJ DiMera will call out Chad DiMera regarding his feelings for Kat Green. While Chad and Kat have a little thing going, they have decided to keep it under wraps, especially considering Chad's in-laws and their disapproval of a possible romance between them. As Kat is working with EJ, will Chad show some concern? Will he warn his brother to keep Kat out of any sketchy projects? Will this have EJ calling out his brother on his feelings for Kat? Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, September 10th suggest that Belle, still smarting from breaking up with EJ, might be gravitating towards Shawn, once again. Belle made it very clear to EJ that they were donezo. She doesn't love him. She never loved him. Pay no attention to anything she might have said or done more than once in the past. Belle did, however, at one point in her life, love Shawn. Sure, they're divorced, but they've been divorced before. Belle already told Philip she doesn't want to relive their high school past or their marriage. But does that apply to Shawn too? Julie's husband died. She is sad. Maggie's husband died. She is also sad. They are sad together. Julie thinks one way to get over being sad might be to buy a bookstore. Will Maggie join her? And will it do the trick for them both? Meanwhile, Marlena's husband is also dead, and she is also sad. But instead of looking for a new job, Marlena has taken a leave of absence from her old one. She touches base with Kayla about what she's supposed to do with her life now. Stephanie believes in following the rules and doing the right thing, unless it applies to someone she cares about, in which case she is perfectly fine with pulling strings and looking the other way. Stephanie also expects her dad, Steve, to be above board and upstanding, unless it applies to someone she cares about, and she makes this clear to him. Theo is back in Salem, and Abe is committed to supporting his son, Theo. Paulina is too. Now that her precious Chanel doesn't want Mama fixing her life for her, good thing she has a newly returned stepson to fuss over. See how these storylines play out in this week's Duel spoilers for September 8-12. Days of Our Lives newcomer Tyler Joseph Andrews is quickly making waves in Salem as Theo. The Philadelphia native has an inspiring journey that's taken him from theater stages to television and film, with plenty of challenges and triumphs along the way. From his early days auditioning for soap roles to appearances in primetime dramas and independent films, Andrews has built a career fueled by determination and family support. Here are 5 fun facts about the rising star that fans may not know. Tyler Joseph Andrews was born and raised in Philadelphia, PA, and he proudly credits the city with shaping his resilience and his love of acting. Before being cast as Theo Carver on Duel, Andrews auditioned for the role of Tate Black, a part that ultimately went to Leo Howard. Soap fans may be surprised to learn that Andrews previously appeared on All-American, Homecoming as Leo, and starred in the film Black Panthers of Wowiwa as Private Jack Wilson. In an interview with TV Insider, Andrews shared how his love for theater kept him going, even during tough times. He recalled traveling back and forth from Philadelphia to New York for auditions, sometimes even living out of his car for a year and a half just to pursue his passion for acting. Through every audition, role, and challenge, Andrews credits his family as his biggest source of encouragement. They couldn't have been more excited when he officially booked the role of Theo on Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives, Greg Von Last brought his character Eric to Salem for John's funeral in June. Eric and Nicole had taken their baby and moved to France in 2024, but it's always nice when he returns to town to help out his family. In the real world, Vaughn has kept his fans engaged through social media. Recently, he surprised followers with emotional news about his son, Landon, after a frightening accident. Vaughn took to Instagram to share that Landon had been in a biking accident that landed him in the hospital. He wrote, "Oh, my Landon, wearing his helmet truly saved him from a much worse outcome. Huge thanks to the first responders for their incredible care and attention every step of the way." He walked away with a broken wrist and some serious road rash. First thing he asked the doctor was, "When can I play football?" This kid's spirit is unmatched. Fans immediately flooded the comments with prayers, support, and words of relief. Co-stars Christian Alfonso and Robert Scott Wilson shared, "Boy ya," and "Pa," respectively. Brandon Barish chimed in with, "Oh my, glad he's okay." One follower shared how glad they were that Landon had his helmet on, saying it may have saved his life. Another fan called him tough like his dad and praised his resilience. Another of Vaughn's fans shared their support with, "No, Greg. OMG, how traumatic. So glad he is okay," sending love and strength. The outpouring of support was immense, with many fans praising Vaughn for being such a great father. Someone leaned into the boy's love of football with, "OMG, thank God he's okay. At least he's ready for football." The football theme continued with one viewer writing, "Thank you, Lord, he is okay. Prayers for a speedy recovery so he can get back to playing football." Despite the young man's scare, the general mood of the responses was one of gratitude for his health and hope for the future. As one fan summed up, "He's down now, but he'll be back on that field before you know it." Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the September 9th, 2025 episode tease a celebration being in order for Salem's new famous author. Not only does September 9th tease drama between Chad and EJ, but also a celebratory moment between Alex and Stephanie. X has news for Stephanie. Stephanie is surprised. Stephanie and Alex celebrate. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. When Shawn and Belle meet up, they sit down to catch up and confide in one another. But will it lead somewhere other than a friendly chat? Belle and Shawn are both single again. Not that Shawn was ever really officially involved with Jada. Belle had quite a good thing going with EJ, but he ruined that by throwing Belle under the bus at Johnny's trial. We never really learned why Belle and Shawn really split to begin with. They just seem to have everyday couple problems, which is the reason they usually break up. Yet, somehow, they always realize they made a mistake and end up back together. Is that what is going to happen this time? Will Belle tell Shawn what a mistake she made by getting involved with EJ? Will Shawn mention how lonely he has been? Heck, he doesn't even have a storyline, and we barely even know he's around. It might be time to revisit Belle and Shawn's romance. They can even talk about their daughter now that her ex-boyfriend is back in Salem. Stephanie Johnson is one busy lady. She has a best-selling novel that very few people know she even wrote. She is advising EJ on his new free clinic and hospital endeavors. And she is working for Titan DiMera while also doing some dirty work for her boyfriend. Stephanie knows how imperative it is that Alex, Xander, and Philip learn just who has been investigating them. She is also aware that her father holds the answer to that question. While Steve has been trying to abide by his confidentiality agreement with Gabby, he gave her back her funds and is refusing to work for her anymore. Does that mean he will tell Stephanie that Gabby is the one who hired him to investigate Philip and Xander? She will certainly score brownie points with Alex if she gives him the information he is looking for. Here's your Days of Our Lives recap for Tuesday, September 9th, 25. When Xander and Philip closed ranks, Gabby scrambled, and EJ deployed his cover story for his hospital plans. Stephanie celebrated officially being a best-selling author. Alex told her that he wanted her to attend the press conference as the PR representative for Anastasia Sands. Stephanie said she was busy with her actual PR job and could not attend. In the DiMera living room, a worried Gabby told Tony that she was concerned that Xander and Philip would discover that she had planted the bug on Xander's desk. "What if they're able to protect themselves before you can challenge a takeover?" Gabby asked. "They lied, and we're going to prove it. I just hope they don't find out that you're the mole," Tony said. Gabby questioned Tony's commitment to her, but he assured her that their deal was intact. At Titan, Philip was surprised when Xander invited him to Victoria's birthday party. "We need to act like a real family, show a united front as we prepare to take on this latest threat. Also, I'd just like you to be there for your niece," Xander said. Philip agreed to attend, but he asked if Sarah would mind. Xander explained that he and Sarah had called a truce for the party. Xander said that, per Marlena's advice, he would work to control his anger and make amends. "Is that what this invitation is about?" Philip asked. Xander admitted that was part of the reason. Philip said he thought both Marlena and Sarah would be impressed with Xander's effort. Xander thanked Philip for his support, but he noted that there was no chance of a reconciliation with Sarah. "I'll always love her, but I just can't get over what she did to me," Xander said. Philip said he regretted that he had told Xander about Sarah's lie. "I hated you for it at the time, but now, looking back, I'm glad you did," Xander said. Philip defended Sarah, and he said that he had put Sarah in an impossible position. "She made a choice," Xander said. Xander explained that Sarah had been the only person in the world that he had trusted completely, and that was why he could not forgive her betrayal. "But you're working on forgiving me, right?" Philip noted. Philip started to urge Xander to fight for Sarah, but Xander argued that it was too much to get past. Philip confirmed with security that the building was free of any more bugs. Xander said he had expedited the CEO papers for Philip to sign. "The last thing we need is to lose Dimera. It's pretty much the only part of our business turning a profit right now," Philip said. "If the merger falls apart, Titan could become vulnerable to someone from the outside raiding us," Xander said. Philip smiled, and he noted that it reminded him of how well they had worked together at the start of their partnership. "If you and I can tolerate each other after all that's happened, well, it just proves my point about you and Sarah," Philip said. Xander dismissed Philip. When Alex arrived at work, Xander told him about the bug in the office. Xander said that whoever had planted the device had likely heard him talk about Philip's fraud. "I've decided to execute Stephanie's strategy to indemnify us by officially making Philip my co-CEO," Xander said. Alex agreed that was the right move. Xander ordered Alex to get Stephanie to tell him who she had talked to about the fraud. "Or else what?" Alex asked defiantly. Xander told Alex that he was not threatening to fire him. Xander stressed that the threat was that the family company could go under if they were not able to fix the situation. Philip invited Gabby to dinner. In the bistro, Gabby talked about the night Xander had gotten them thrown out. "Not Xander's best moment, but it is the night that he decided to go into therapy," Gabby said. "Then it turned into a positive, because he really has begun working on his anger issues," Philip confirmed. Gabby agreed that Xander had made progress. "I mean, you two are getting along again, right?" Gabby said. "How would you know that?" Philip asked. Gabby explained that when she had seen Philip and Xander earlier, they had been working together as a team. "Our office was bugged. The company is under attack. But you are right about us," Philip said. Philip credited Gabby with the thaw of his relationship with Xander because she had inspired him to talk to Xander. "He even invited me to his daughter's birthday party tomorrow," Philip said. Philip noted that having a common enemy had helped draw them closer together. Gabby asked who had bugged the office. Philip shrugged. "When we find out whoever did this, they'll be sorry they picked a fight with the Kyriakis brothers," Philip said. Kat met up with Rafe in his office, and she showed him the photos of EJ's blueprints. Rafe noted that although there was nothing obvious in the plans, he knew that there was more to the renovation. "Is it possible that maybe EJ turned a corner?" Kat asked. Rafe stressed that EJ would always be a criminal. In EJ's hospital office, EJ showed Chad the fake blueprints for the new free clinic. "I want to do something good for the community, give back," EJ said. Chad asked EJ if he had an ulterior motive with the hospital, but EJ said no. EJ admitted that at most, he wanted to rehabilitate their family's reputation. "If all of this is on the up and up, then I'm proud of you, and if there's anything I can do to help, let me know," Chad said. Chad changed the subject to Kat, and he asked EJ to be nice to her. EJ teased Chad about his feelings for Kat. "Right now, we're just enjoying each other's company," Chad said. "I hope it works out for you. You deserve to be happy," EJ said. Chad warned EJ not to tell anyone about the relationship, and EJ promised to be nice. After Chad left, Stephanie arrived to meet with EJ. EJ walked Stephanie through his plans for the free clinic. "I'm pleasantly surprised. As your PR person, you've just made my job a whole lot easier," Stephanie admitted. When EJ noted that only Stephanie and his family knew about the plans, Stephanie asked why he had kept it a secret. "I wanted to make sure the announcement comes out right. There's going to be a lot of skepticism," EJ said. EJ admitted that he needed Kayla to be on board. Stephanie reminded EJ that Kayla had worked at the Riverfront Free Clinic for years. "If you're on the level with this project, she'll be your biggest ally," Stephanie said. EJ announced that he wanted to call it the Dimera Family Free Clinic. Stephanie told EJ that the staff would object, and he needed their support. "This hospital is steeped in nearly a century of tradition. It's not just the building, it's the staff. It's the volunteers, not to mention the people it cares for. The name that you put on this clinic should reflect that, Stephanie said. Stephanie suggested that EJ name the clinic after Dr. Tom Horton. EJ agreed. As Chad passed through the square, he ran into Kat. Kat told Chad that Mark was grateful that Chad had decided not to contest his parole. "I hope it helps his case," Chad said. Kat admitted she was concerned that Chad's decision would put him at odds with Abigail's family. "I'm doing what I think is right for my family to move forward," Chad said. Chad said he hoped Mark's release would help Kat's family heal as well. "You know, if he does get released, you and I are going to have a talk and figure out what that means for us," Chad said. Kat told Chad that she believed they could figure out how to continue to see one another if Mark moved home. Chad told Kat that EJ had guessed that he was involved with her. Kat was worried about her working relationship with EJ, but Chad assured her that EJ would not interfere. "How is James?" Chad asked. Kat noted that she was not interested in James. Kat said that she had suffered through numerous bad relationships. "I can already see that it's different with you," Kat said. "I want to kiss you right now," Chad said. Kat glanced across the square, and she saw EJ and Rafe. "That's my boss right there," Kat said. Across the square, Rafe told EJ he was happy to hear that Johnny had been exonerated. "Especially since you were the one that got him arrested in the first place," EJ muttered. Rafe countered that it was a miracle that EJ had not been disbarred for his conduct. "One of these days, EJ, your luck's going to run out," Rafe said. Chad and Kat interrupted to say hello. Rafe warned Kat to be careful around her new boss. Alex returned to Stephanie's place, and he told her about Xander's request for Stephanie to explain how she had buried the investigation into Philip's fraud. "As it turns out, whatever you did, it didn't work," Alex said. Alex told Stephanie about the bug. "Do you know who it was?" Alex asked. At the Dimera mansion, Tony greeted Theo at the front door. "So glad to have you back in Salem," Tony said as he hugged his nephew. Theo asked Tony why he had sent the jet to retrieve him so that they could talk in person. "Welcome to Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. The groundwork is finally being laid for the big Days of Our Lives 60th anniversary celebration in less than 2 months. Jack and Jennifer are home and plan to stick around for a while to keep their eyes on Chad and Kat, while Theo is also back in Salem to explore his Dimera side of the family. And now we know that EJ is also preparing for this celebration while trying to boost his reputation. The Dimera Free Clinic will now be the Dr. Tom Horton Free Clinic. At Stephanie's very strong suggestion, EJ was taken aback at first, but realized that his quest to look like he's turned over a new leaf would look a whole lot better if he honored Salem's real hero and not the Dimera family. Sometimes it feels as if Days wants to erase the fact that the Dimeras ran a highly illegal operation out of Salem for decades and not a legitimate family business. It makes much more sense to name a clinic after the most beloved family in town, rather than the most reviled. We know that the clinic's grand opening will serve as the backdrop of the soap's 60th anniversary party, so EJ will rather enjoy his accomplishment, as will Salem. But the audience knows EJ is also up to something sinister, so things may not go quite as planned. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full duel recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Tyler Joseph Andrews is making his debut as Theo Carver on Days of Our Lives on Tuesday, September 9th. The character is the son of Abe Carver and the late Lexi Carver. This is Andrew's first soap opera. Theo is making his way home to Salem. Having lived the last few years in South Africa originally, Andrews had auditioned for the role of Tate Black, which is being played by Leo Howard. A couple of months later, I auditioned again, but they didn't really tell me who I was auditioning for, Andrews shared with TV Insider. The actor didn't get that role either, but the third time turned out to be the charm when he landed the part of Theo. TV is a relatively new genre for the actor, as his background has been in theater. He has compared shooting a soap opera to doing theater, given the pace of the medium. Andrews admitted to being overwhelmed on his first day. Fortunately, Days is a very welcoming set. He received support from co-star Billy Flynn. Andrews says everyone at the show made him feel welcome, especially TV dad James Reynolds. Andrews says that he loves working with the Days veteran, and he has become one of his best friends at the show.